What's going on? This your boy Chris Simmons coming to you with another podcast episode on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Man, I'm feeling good this morning. Had to give me a good workout in before we kicked off the show this morning. Today was back day, so I went to the gym early this morning, did some back exercises, and now we are on the show this morning. So, like I said, I always love to get my workouts in beforehand. I cannot skip a workout. So, working out is important to me. So that's what I got to do, man. I'm always, getting up, going out, going after it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing every morning. Every day I get up early in the morning and go after it, man. But I got a very special guest for y'all today. I found out that she is from Cleveland, Ohio. So she is from the same state. Now like I said, I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. So she's about 3.5, 4 hours north of me. But like I said, I do go to Kent State University. So Kent is like 45 minutes outside of Cleveland. So I probably passed the sister when I came up to Cleveland, bro. I just didn't know it. But we probably ran into each other a few times, just didn't know it. But it was exciting to hear that she was from Ohio. So I got somebody I can relate to, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, she's got a lot going on with her page. She's well decorated. I was glad to be able to reach out to her, and I'm glad that she was able to come on the show. Seems like she's got a lot going on. I mean, she is a master life and success coach. She got millions of books, podcast episodes, free training sessions, blogs, workshops, hotlines, YouTube videos. I mean, she got it all. She well decorated. I mean, it's hard to reach her. You know what I'm saying? When you go on the Instagram page, you're gonna find all this stuff, all these different ways to reach her. So she is out there. And I'm very excited for her to kind of open up about what she does and the type of work that she be doing, you know what I'm saying, to impact the community. So without further ado, let me bring on Dr. Nicolya Williams. What's going on? How you doing?
I am wonderful, super, super pumped and excited to be here this morning.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I know we was coming off a long 3-day weekend. So how did you enjoy your weekend?
Well, I will say I did not enjoy it on Saturday because I put together like a really nice, it's called a pergola, but like a canopy. I put it together like 250 pounds. So that exhausted me, but I did spend the holiday sitting under there and eating good and spending time with family. So that was good.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a cookout? Well, it was actually cold. It was actually really cold. On Saturday, it was like, look, it was 54 degrees here. So in Cleveland, it's probably like 45 degrees. Like,
No, because we're right by the water.
right. It's a lot colder. That wind up there in Cleveland is no joke. Like it will take you out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what I learned when I moved up, when I came up closer to Cleveland, is that it's a lot colder up north.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot colder. So I mean, it was unusual how it was cold Memorial Day because usually it's hot. Like I don't know what's up
Yeah.
with it.
And it's
You
crazy because what was it like 2, 3 days before that? It was like
Yeah,
85 degrees. So
yeah,
it was a big temperature drop.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it was, man, it was not good to be honest. And I was hoping to get outside. I was hoping to go outside. Well, I did go outside Memorial Day, the actual day, because it was actually like in the 70s. So, but this weekend, I mean, like I said, we had a graduation. My sister graduated from high school, and she is now going to attend the Miami University of Ohio. So we had a big celebration for that.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so yeah, we had it outside. We had it outside on the football field. So instead of walking across the stage, she walked across the track. You know what I'm saying? So it was different. It was unique, but the stands was packed though. So that kind of tells you that things are starting to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
this whole COVID thing, it's about to be a thing in the past, to be honest, because I think people was already walking around without masks and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Speaking of masks, they about to lift the thing tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Actually, tomorrow
Tomorrow.
we about to. Hey, listen, I mean, if you in Ohio, you ain't got to wear no mask tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I will definitely be throwing that boy out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it was a great weekend for me, and
Good.
yeah, no, I'm just
I'm
ready
glad.
ready to get back at it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I'm happy for your sister. Congrats to her. That's dope.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was crazy how she won all these awards because she's very smart. She's a very smart individual. A lot of people were hoping that she was going to be the valedictorian, like her grades were that good, but they gave it to somebody else. But people were still people still had that respect, you know what I'm saying? Because they knew who she was. They knew that she was smart and everything. She was actually in the running for it, but I think they chose somebody else. I don't know how they do that, but like I said, I mean, she still won a lot of awards and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's.
I'm surprised they didn't do salutatorian. So it goes valedictorian and salutatorian. So I wonder
Yeah,
if there was something just a little like percentage off where she just missed it by a little bit. But
I think
still,
that,
that's amazing.
yeah, I think that's what it was because they did do that. Because I don't ever remember there being a salutatorian, whatever it's called. Like, because usually it's the valedictorian that speaks, but then they also had the salutatorian. I can't even say it. See, I can't even say it. So the
Salutatorian.
one that's below the valedictorian, they actually delivered a speech. I thought his speech was better than the valedictorian speech. That's just my opinion. Now,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was all good though. They people still, she still did her thing in school and is about to be able to go to Miami and she's about to do the music program. So we were all very proud of her. So
That's
it was,
awesome.
a great weekend. But nah, other than that, aside from that, we're gonna get right into the show, and I want to kick off by asking Sister Nicolya. I'm just gonna refer to you as Sister Nicolya Williams. Um, I just want her to kind of open up about how she got started on this journey, becoming a master life success coach slash author, all that. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of give us the details on that.
Sure. So my story in a nutshell, I've always I knew when I was younger I wanted to be a counselor, went to school to become a counselor. I was that person that people would stop me in a grocery store legit and be like, "Hey, I need to tell you something," and spill all their private business on me, and I just always wanted to help. I was that person with my friends, with my family, all of it. So you have to excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I actually taught a training this past week, so I'm losing my voice a little.
Mm.
Anyways, I knew I wanted to be a counselor forever, went to school to be a counselor, and felt a lot of like restriction around what that looked like. So I started leaning into the coaching space. And it first started with me writing a book. At that time in that season of my life, I had just gone through a divorce. I'm like raising two kids, working a full-time job, working a part-time job, and my doctoral program full-time. So I was juggling a lot. And people used to always ask me, like, how are you balancing all those things? So I decided I wanted to write like a book on productivity. I love self-help books, personal development books. And at the time, I thought it would be just an ebook, just a little simple ebook idea. And then I was like, shoot, if I can write an ebook, I might as well turn it into a real book. Went on to turn it into a real book, hit bestseller. And then from there, all is history. People started asking me questions and asking me to speak. And I just slowly but surely began to birth this part of my business that I was always passionate about, but couldn't really conceptualize, couldn't really see how it would come together. And it just came together naturally.
Oh wow, wow, that's amazing. I think that somebody who wants to do that for other people is. Oh, I always applaud them for doing that because that's the type of work I want to do as well. So yeah, I really applaud that. I really appreciate what you're doing. Now, when you did get started with this, like, well, actually, like when you were doing this like type of training and stuff like that, type of self help and stuff, did you start like online? Like, did you start building up that profile on Instagram, or did you just kind of like were you out in your community and stuff like that, trying to be able to talk to people and stuff? So like, just kind of break it down. Like, how did you, um, how did your brand like take off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it was a little bit of both. So at the time when I was going through the divorce and like it's the first idea started kind of being birthed, I was in a small support group and I was like a lead. I was a lead there. So I would like speak. I would I would talk to them about like different things. So I was kind of like a lead essentially in there. I will be honest, I am a huge introvert. So for me, I did that for a while, but the biggest part of my building of my brand was online. So I started leaning into social media because when you're in your local community, you only stretch yourself so far. When you're online, you can stretch yourself across the world. And I remember when I sold my book, one of my books, I had a lady write me on Instagram, and I had she lived in Ghana, and she was talking about how powerful my book was to her. It blew me away, and that's when I really bought into like social media. I think there's a lot of negative beliefs around social media, but if you use it intentionally, it can be such a blessing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how I also like started building my brand, with this podcast, because I know a lot of people have heard this, but I have a friend, a really good friend up at Kent State, and he told me to actually get on Instagram because when I was doing this podcast before last year, there was no type of social media for it. There was nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't believe in that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, social media is just so toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like I really uh didn't want to have an Instagram or anything like that. I basically deleted it in 2019. But my dude was telling me like, look, like I really think you should get back on here. I think that, you could reach more people doing that. I said, well, social media is garbage. I don't really like that. He's like, no, it's all a matter of who you follow. I think that's the thing is who you follow determines the type of content you're going to see. So if you follow positive content, you're going to see positive content. You know what I'm saying? If you follow negative content, you're going to get negative content. So that's what we had to do. I had to start over. You know what I'm saying? So we started following all these motivational pages and stuff like that. And we were receiving positive content. We was kind of getting ideas. And that's how this whole thing started. So it's been about 5 months. 5 months. So I think, yeah, social media, yeah, definitely depends on how you use it. So yeah, social media can definitely be used for good, but also, a lot of people, try to use it to spread negativity. But that's not what we're about. That's not what I'm about. So I have
and if you're intentional about it too, I have a personal Instagram page that I started probably in 2014, 2015. And then I have the one I started for my business in 2000, I want to say 2018. Mm-hmm. And the difference between those two pages is like night and day. I get on, my personal page and it's like drama, just a lot. And honestly, I literally don't get on there for that reason because I can feel that shift in my energy. But on my business page, I feel uplifted. I feel inspired. I feel like I can take on the world. And so I do think if you shift your perspective about social media and you use it for the right reasons, it'll change your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of personal accounts, I had to delete mine because, like you said, that's all I saw on mine. Like I just saw a bunch of drama, a bunch of negativity. I said, I'm gonna get rid of that. And that's why I created Disinfect Your Life because we are literally disinfecting your life. You know what I'm saying? It seems like that's what you're doing as well. You're trying to disinfect people's lives in your own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%. When so I have a chemical dependency license, and I used to counsel people that had drug addictions. And one of the things that we talked to them about is when they were trying to overcome an addiction or overcome this, like almost like attack, because it had a hold on them. We would tell them, you literally have to change every part of your life. You have to disinfect every area of your life because you have one area that's infected is going to take over the other areas. And that's essentially what personal development is it's literally working your life in a way that's going to work in your favor, removing the things that are barriers or obstacles and building those things that are those propellers or those things that are going to push you towards what you want.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. And so when you're talking to people and trying to change them, like what are some like techniques that you use to, be able to help people maybe overcome some emotional experiences or maybe some trauma that's happened in their life?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite question. So about a year ago, I got certified in a couple different things. I got certified in what's called tapping, which is an amazing modality. If you are not familiar with tapping, you definitely can look it up. Come check me out at Nicolya Williams on Instagram. You'll see a couple videos, YouTube as well. I have a whole playlist on tapping, but I got certified in tapping as one of the techniques. And essentially it is an energy protection modality where you're tapping through different meridian points on your body to balance and ground your energy. And the beauty of it is it creates instant shifts and changes. I was also I was also certified in neurolinguistic programming, which is all about the programs and the patterns of our mind, how it works, the programs and patterns that we run on repeat and how they play out in our life. And when I became certified in these different modalities, they changed my life in ways that I probably can't even put in fully into words. But I went on to actually create my own certification program to teach other people these same tools because of how powerful they are. I actually, to me, feel like it's a crime that we don't understand the power of our mind or really even our power and how to leverage it in general. And so these are tools that I started to bring to the work that I did with my clients. And they were so transformative that I'm like, okay, how do I get this to the masses? Like, how do I get this to more people and bless them with this information? Because it supports them at clearing out their life to bring in the things that they want to call in.
Mm, yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. I liked how you said, you mentioned the mind, because I actually did an episode about mind body connection. And it's so important how we have to train our mind to think positive, you know what I'm saying? Because the
Yes.
mind is connected to the body. So if your mind is telling you something that you can't do, then the body's going to respond to that and say, well, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the number one thing that, as master life coaches and stuff like that, that we got to do is really get into the minds of people. Because
Yeah.
that's what really was stopping them, you know what I'm saying? That's stopping them from achieving what they want to achieve, you know what I'm saying? It's all mental.
It's
You
100% mental, and most people don't know that. In fact, I watched a documentary on Netflix called Heal, and they were talking about like 90% of disease comes from your mind. It doesn't come from, it's dis-ease, being out of ease in your body. It is not from the things that we think that it's from. It's things in your body and in your mind. And our mind is so powerful. They say it all the time, and I know it sounds cliche or overused or overrated, but if you change your mind, you literally can change your life. And it's so true.
mm. So I guess, like, what do you do, like, throughout your day? Like, what keeps you motivated throughout the day to be able to get up, to be able to go throughout your day, and to be able to keep that positive mindset? So, like, what are some personal things that help you to be able to keep that positive mindset?
Yeah, so two things come to mind when you ask me that. Definitely tapping. I tap every morning. I tapped right before this episode. I tap every single morning. And the great thing is you can tap on anything. You can do it wherever. It's just, that's my thing. The second thing is gratitude. So I think a lot of time, I don't think, I know a lot of times we focus on the things we don't want. And the way your subconscious mind works is whatever you hold, whatever it holds, whatever it's thinking of is what it's drawn towards. So a lot of times when we're thinking about like, oh, today's going to suck, or today I don't feel like being at work, or today, whatever, you're actually going to be drawn towards more things that validate what you're thinking. So gratitude is one of those like highest energetic frequencies that you can be at, because when you're at that place of gratitude, you actually call in more things of gratitude. So I have two different gratitude activities I do. One is daily, one is weekly/yearly, and I'll explain it. The daily one is I just list three things that I'm grateful for. And I don't list it in like rote format, like I'm grateful my eyes opened, and I just say it for the sake of saying it. But I really feel it. I had a pastor once say, what if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you thanked God for? And it made me think like, how many things am I thankful for that I don't even identify that I'm thankful for? So I list out those gratitudes. The second thing that I do is once a week, I write out one good thing that happened that week, and I put it in a gratitude jar. And then at the end of the year, every year on New Year's, I've been doing this for about 3 years. I pull out the gratitude jar and I pull out all of my gratitudes for the year. And it's such a beautiful experience. I do it with my daughters. It's such a beautiful experience because sometimes the year will pass by and we'll feel like it sucked, or we'll feel like nothing good happened. Or we'll be like, oh, I'm just so ready for new year, new me, whatever. But like there's so many blessings that happen throughout the year that you didn't even hone in and recognize because you were too worried about the things that were not working in your favor, the things that you didn't want.
Mm. I love, I love that. I think I might need to implement that tactic that you said, the gratitude jar. I think that's one thing that I'm going to do. Now, I'm a big fan of writing stuff down. I'm a big believer in writing goes down because I believe that you got to be able to see it to believe it.
Yes.
So you got to be able to see it to believe it. But I like that technique, and I think that is something I would recommend y'all try. Is every day, write something positive, write something that you want to accomplish. Like have daily goals as well. Don't just have yearly goals, because sometimes when you just have yearly goals, they can get lost. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
100%.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, you can do the jar thing, or you can do whatever feels, comfortable to you. Is I recommend do them daily goals. So let's say your goal, and I always use the example because I'm in the fitness. Like I know a lot of people want to be able to, change their bodies. Maybe your goal is to lose 100 pounds by the end of this year. okay, what are some things that you can be doing daily? Like,
Yes.
some exercises that you should be doing. Should you be running 3 miles a day? Should you be, lifting weights? I mean, should you be changing up your diet? Like, what are your meals, looking like throughout the day? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of think of things that you can do each day that are going to keep your mind focused on the journey.
Yeah. There's a day titled National Quitters Day. I think it's January 12th or January 19th. And it's essentially like we set these New Year's resolutions and then
Uh-huh.
by that day we fell off with it.
Yep.
That's that reason you just said, because people set a goal, but then they're not having those little small steps in between that goal to get there. They're like, I want to lose 100 pounds, like you said. But it's like, what do you need to do? What do you need to commit to each day to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year? It's not, don't wait for the end of the year and then wonder why that goal didn't get there. Don't hope, wish, and wonder and wait for it to land in your lap. You have to take action and commit to that action daily to be able to get to that large result that you want.
I think one of the things why people do fall off, because I always notice this, when I go to the gym, every day, every year, January the 1st, it's always packed.
Always.
It's always packed. Now I'm like, where y'all come from?
I don't even like to go on January 1st because I'm like, I can't even get the machines I want because it's so packed for all y'all that ain't gonna be here in 2 weeks.
That's what I mean. It's like, I was saying this to my friend, like me and him will go at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're thinking, okay, there's nobody gonna be here because a lot of people tend to go, in the evening and stuff. But even at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was packed. I'm like,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like we were trying to we were trying to get on the bench press, and literally we had to wait. I'm like, what in the world? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because there used to be like 3-4 people there, but it was like a whole zoo. And then literally like a month later, I told him, I said, you know what? By February, nobody's gonna be there. And then literally, sure enough, when February hit, it was back to normal. But why is that though? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that people get excited one year, I mean like 1 month at a time, and then literally fall off? It's because they don't have commitment. They don't have nothing pushing them. That's the problem. If you ain't got nothing pushing you, if you got no reason, then you ain't gonna stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Like people ain't got no real reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that until you find why you want to do it, it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be more than just you want it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have those external motivators as well. Like maybe doing it because you want to see somebody else eat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I use my daddy for example. Like he works hard for us. He works hard because he wants to see us eat, and that's the one thing I respect about my dad.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember one time like he got mad at me because I came down late for school. It was like when I was in high school. He made us come downstairs before school at like 16 because he would always cook us breakfast. You know what I'm saying? He would always get up early. He'd get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. He'd work out. He would do work in his office. He'd make us breakfast. That was the type of dad he was. And so like when he asked us something small, he got real mad. He was like, "Son, what time is it?" I said, "It's like 6:11 or something." Like I was a minute late. He was like, why can't you do what I tell you? Why didn't you get down here? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, why are you making a big deal out of this? You know what I'm saying? Why are you tripping? But he was like, "Son, you realize that I don't have to do this for you. I don't have to get up. I don't have to cook breakfast. I don't have to do that. But the reason I do that is because I want y'all to be able to eat. I want y'all to be able to get that proper nutrition." Because he was telling me like a lot of parents don't do that. A lot of parents don't give their kids, like my dad was cooking grits and eggs, like he was cooking bacon. He was cooking his country breakfast because he's from Macon, Georgia. He's from the country. So he would have these country breakfasts ready for us. And the only thing we had to do was just get down at a certain time. So he was like, "Son, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. I'm working out. I'm putting in work. I'm cooking y'all breakfast. I gotta go to work. I stay up, and you can't even do a simple thing." See, that's what I mean. He was doing it because he was trying to make us eat, and that's what I respect about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
So,
beautiful. Most parents, you're right. And especially most dads, like you don't hear dads doing stuff like that
right,
specifically. So that's beautiful to hear.
absolutely, yeah. So that's what I mean. It's just like you got to find something that motivates you to stick with what you're doing. Because until you find that internal, external motivation, then you're just gonna give up. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that you really want to do, you got to find that. You got to find something within you that's going to keep you going, and that's going to keep you going throughout the whole year. Versus like, okay, January 1st, it looks cute on a piece of paper, it looks cute because
Yeah.
everybody else doing it, but
Yeah.
until you really find why you're doing it, it's not going to happen.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so now I wanna talk about some of these books that you read because you got like a million books. Now I checked you out. I checked them on. I think I clicked on your link and I saw them on Amazon. I think they're on Amazon, right? You can find them
Yep.
on Amazon. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, you can find them on Amazon. If you just type in what? If you just type in your name, they'll come up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now out of all these books that you've written, what are maybe some of the ones that you really thought were your best work? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so hard to say. They're all
Now,
so
I know
different.
everything. I know everything that you've written is good. Now I'm saying, but like, what is one like? Let's say I wanted to buy a book. What would be one that you would recommend me read
Oh man,
first?
that's so hard. So the first one I'm just gonna trust my subconscious mind that's throwing some out there. So first one I would probably say is the Goal Getter Guide, and it's all about goals. You're talking about goals. We're talking about goals here, and it's all about the intentionality of your goals and how to actually be able to bring them to fruition, how to bring them in, and then progress over perfection, maybe another one. Just I think a lot of times, I know for me, I struggled a lot with perfection, and perfection can actually paralyze you because you're like, if it ain't perfect, I ain't doing it. And I just talk about like my journey through pushing past perfection to be able to get to the outcome that I want. All my books, essentially, I have two children's books. Outside of that, the rest are all personal development in that domain. So really, all of them could be of some use to you if you're looking to jumpstart your personal development journey or really strengthen it as well.
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to buy one. Now I've been really getting into reading lately. You know what I'm saying? I really love to read. I'm actually reading. I'm going back and forth between two books right now. Uh,
Yes,
there's this one book that I really, really love. It's called Brainwash by Tom Burrell. So I really love that one because it talks about some of the issues within the Black community, and I've been motivated to be able to learn more. And what really pushed me was when I saw this uh, segment on 60 Minutes, and it was about the Tulsa, Oklahoma thing. You know what I'm saying? Like where there was a large massacre within the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, and for me, I'm like, why did I not know this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
of
why did
course.
I not? Why was I not taught that? You know what I'm saying? So that's what really pushed me to be like, okay, if nobody's gonna teach me this, I'm going to teach it myself. You know what I'm saying? I need to, be able to be more educated about stuff. So that's
I
what
need
really
to write that down. Brainwash, you said?
is Brainwash, yeah, by Tom
I'm
Burrell. You can get it, yeah, you can get it on the Apple Books. You've got like an iPhone, there's a book app. You can just get off of there for like $9.99, or you can buy a hard copy of that.
I'm an avid reader. I actually read last year 56 or 57 books. Now
Mhm.
that does include some audio and some like actual books, but I'm an avid reader because reading has, oh my gosh, there's so much knowledge. Like you said, if there's something you want to learn and people ain't teaching it to you, pick up a book. There's a
Right.
lot you can learn. A lot.
Yeah, no, that's what I feel like too. Is like, yeah, you can look up stuff, you can Google it and all that stuff. That's great, but there's nothing more like, it's just nothing like reading a book. I feel like you could really spend time really reading, really, getting to understand the story better through reading versus like just Googling it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes.
I'm really a big fan of reading. Like I said, I'm reading that book, and I'm also reading another book called How to Sell. Uh, so that, or no, To Sell is Human. I'm sorry, To Sell is Human. That was the title of the book, but it's about sales, and just basically, the ins and outs of like what selling consists of. And one thing that I've learned is that selling, when you think of selling is human, like you're selling yourself. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
day.
Every
Yep.
day. Like it don't even matter. Like when I'm doing this podcast, like I'm selling information. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sell y'all. I'm trying to have y'all buy this information so y'all can apply it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you make it happen out here. Is that you got to be you gotta, be able to sell yourself. People gotta like you. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. You
So
hit the nail on the head.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Nah, I just like I said, I'm really passionate about reading. That's something I also do in my daily routine. Like I recommend y'all, if y'all want to be able to get away from, if you want to be able to de-stress from the anxieties of life, pick up a book. Pick up a book. Don't just take that time, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Don't go on your phone. Put your phone on downtime. If you got an iPhone, you got downtime. You can control your screen time. I'm telling you, just put down the phone and just pick up a hard book. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a hard book or maybe an ebook. I don't know, but just take that time to de-stress, man. Because I'm telling you, your health is important. So if you
Oh,
don't take care of it,
100%.
nobody else gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
There's a good book if you're also looking for one called The Miracle Morning. Any of you could read it. And it's all about like a healthy morning routine for your success. And it talks about that. It talks about like the top 5 things you should do in the morning, and it breaks it down in like an acronym. And then reading is one, exercising is one, like all things like journaling is another one. And it just talks about these things to really create that success you want. And that was probably one of the first books I read when I started my personal development journey that gave me that momentum, to see the value in reading, to see the value in personal development, to see the value in routines.
Mm. I think we just answered the question. I was going to ask you, what is the key to living your best life? I think we just answered the question right there. That's really what it is. I mean, you got to wake up. First of all, you got to wake up. Okay, you got to. Now, I'm not saying you got to wake up like extra early, but at least wake up before 12. I'll just say that. Wake up before 12 o'clock. Get up around 6, 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Have a routine. Go out, work out. You know what I'm saying? Work out, read, do some investing. I mean, that's what I do. That's just my example. Like I'll read. After I finish working out, I read. I look at my stocks and I invest. Try to see what's in the market, stuff like that. Also, and just like being able to do these podcasts, coming up with great motivational content. So, like I said, you just got to be able to have that routine in the morning. That's really a key to living that successful life. Is if you have a consistent routine that you do every morning, then you can go out and make it happen.
You
But
got it.
but you got to wake up though. You got to wake up. You can't be sleeping. You got to wake up. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
got to wake up with intention. You can't wake up like, oh my God. Like
All right.
you got to wake up with intentions. Yes.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Now we are finished with the motivational piece of this podcast. Now I'm going to transition into another version of another segment of this podcast, because when I heard that Dr. Nicolya Williams was coming on the show, I wanted to touch on this because I was actually listening to one of her podcasts, and I know she got like 100 episodes on there, but I actually went all the way down to episode number 18. And I remember that was titled the Black Lives Matter. And that was right around the time, I think that was a little after the George Floyd incident, where, obviously everybody knows about that, because I think the difference was that since everybody was in quarantine, everybody could see it, everybody saw what was going on, everybody was more, woke, everybody was more, attentive. So, when I listened to that episode, I could hear some emotion in it. You know what I'm saying? I could hear some, frustration, some anger. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I wanted to take this next part of the podcast to just be able to just ask you what still needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is an important conversation for us to have, now that we're on this platform and we can be able to voice our opinions. I just want to kind of get your perspective on, what do you think still needs to be done? Because obviously there's still inequities out here,
Mm.
and still racism out here. So like, what do you think needs to be done in order for us to really come together as one?
That's such a hard question because there's so many layers to inequity, like you mentioned. For me, I think there needs to be a lot of undoing, right? I think there needs to be a lot of learnings. I think specifically when I think of like police, I think about how all the rest of us have to get degrees, right? How can they be able to go to the police academy for however long that is without understanding how the human mind works, without understanding about diversity, equity, and inclusion, without just learning people skills. Like I think about doctors. Obviously doctors do have to go to school for a really long time, but there's a lot of medical inequities. Think about the number of Black women that die in childbirth compared to the number of white women. Like we're doing the same thing, but how come one group is dying more and the other group is not? So how do we have conversations around that and doctors treating us more equitably? To answer the question is such a broad, like it is such a broad answer. And I think first there's that awareness that needs to be there, that acknowledgement. And I think there needs to be a lot of undoing of the systems that clearly aren't working, undoing of the systems that are clearly creating these same patterns and processes and results that we don't want, undoing of these beliefs that we have that impact different ways that people are showing up and treating people. Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah, man. Man, yeah, no, I think you were right about that. It's just so much that needs to be done. And, like I said, I've been paying more attention, like in terms of trying to figure out what can I do? Because I think that we can sit here and talk about it all day, but until we actually get out here and do something, it's not going to change. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started reading books like Brainwash, because I wanted to be able to understand, okay, what is it that we need to be able to fix? And one of the things that I think needs to be fixed is we need to come together as Black people, because I feel like a lot of us are separate. A lot of us, don't really come together. We got to be able to lift each other up and stuff like that, and be able to eliminate these negative, be able to not get caught up in these negative stereotypes about ourselves. We have to have more confidence in ourselves. We have to be able to build things. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the things that we as Black people are disadvantaged of is we don't really own anything. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take ownership. We gotta build stuff, because one thing that I've realized that, when we as Black people, when we need to go somewhere to get a job, where we going? We don't have nobody in that community to really, provide for us. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my missions. I've just been really passionate about trying to be able to come up with ways I can be able to create stuff, to give back, be able to have people in our community be able to rely on other Black people to be able to support them. So that's one thing, is like just trying to build, schools, banks, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I've just been passionate about it. That's why I wanted to ask you your opinion, because that's something I've really been passionate about the past few days, is trying to make that change in our community. Because I just feel like as people, we feel like we're inferior. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have us feel like that. I want us to be able to express who we are as a people. I don't want us to feel like we got to look a certain way for somebody else. We just got to be us. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to just express who we are. And so that's what I've been trying to work on, trying to figure out some solutions that we can come up with. Now, maybe I may not be able to solve everything, but I want to at least start with something. You know what I'm saying? At least start with building something. And then we'll see what happens from there. You know what I'm saying?
And that was such a timely question, because this is the anniversary of Black Wall Street, right? So the crazy piece of you talking about wanting to build something on this, you talking about it on this day, on the anniversary, I just feel like it's time for it to come full circle.
So. Yes, ma'am. And we just got to get more of us together to be able to support each other. I think the other thing is that since we're not used to being able to build something, it's kind of scary. So I think that if we, are supportive of each other and are really, on board to trying to help each other out, then I think that we can get a lot done. We can get a lot accomplished. We could create our own communities, you know what I'm saying? Our own, resources where we can, have other people come to us. But instead of going to other people for resources, we can come to each other. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be my mission, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get educated, trying to be able to understand more about our history, so I can figure out, okay, what still needs to be worked on, what still needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see. But that's why I'm on that mission. But anyway, as we come to closing the show, I was very thankful to have Sister Nicolya Williams come join me. Hopefully, me and her, we can team up and do some great things for y'all in the future. Hopefully, do some more episodes in the future, and hopefully, she can be on board with what I'm trying to do for the community and stuff like that. So we will definitely. Hopefully, this will not be the last time. Like I always encourage my guests, this don't have to be the last time you come on my show. You can come on anytime you want to. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about multiple issues. We could talk about multiple things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I'm so glad you were able to come on for real, for real. You want to give y'all a show? I know you got a lot of things. I know you got YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Whatever you want to give out, whatever you want people to follow you on, you can go ahead and shout it out right now.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. It was a blessing to be here. I'm just grateful to always be able to connect with other like-minded people and just to be able to bless other people with great information. So thank you. Definitely check me out. I'm Nicolya Williams across the board. So I'm on Facebook. I'm on Insta. I know a lot of people don't use Facebook, but Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are like my hot platforms. YouTube, I'm posting videos each week. Instagram, I'm on there daily. Facebook, I'm on there daily. So feel free to connect with me wherever your preferred social media link or handle is. And I would love to connect with you beyond here as well.
All right, there you go. There you go. And then also, you can go check her out on Amazon. She got tens of thousands of books. So go ahead and pick you one. I'll probably order one. I know I probably will. I'll have to check out to see which one I want. But I am going to support her and what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's why I was talking about earlier. We got to support each other. You know what I'm saying? Support each other because we're doing some great things out here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this your boy Chris Simmons coming to the close of the show. We out. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Take care. Peace.